From Austin, Texas, welcome to Fox College Football, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Thanksgiving weekend here at Texas Memorial Stadium, and it's the Longhorns and the Red Raiders to wrap up the 2019 regular season. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend, or a great Thanksgiving, and they're still having a great weekend. Joe Davis, Brock Heward, Bruce Feldman joins us in a moment. So Texas a year ago, of course, wins 10 games for the first time in a decade. They go to the Sugar Bowl and then carry in what comes with that. That is big expectations in 2019. How do you go from there to 6-5 coming into today?
Well, there's a lot, but I think I would boil it down to two things. Number one, you're just not playing complementary football. You'll hear coaches say it all the time, especially teams that are sitting there where they are at 6-5. First half of the season, the offense was awesome, scoring 40 a game. Defense struggled. But here in November, defense picked it up. The offense can't seem to score. They just don't complement each other. And then the other challenge is your quarterback. And I think a lot of people thought Sam Ehlinger was going to fix everything, right? When you got that elite quarterback, especially in Tom Herman's system, he can cover up all the ills of everybody else, but that's unrealistic. And especially losing Colin Johnson, he was his guy, right? We saw Sam a month ago heading into that game. He was pulling the trigger. He was anticipating. He's been holding a little bit more. They're going to ask him today to cut it loose more than anything else.
On the other side, Texas Tech sits at 4-7, first season under Matt Wells. They are really close to being completely flipped from 4-7.
And they're playing hard, man. You put on that tape, and these guys are playing, and their seniors are wishing they could be back for another year. And yeah, by close, you mean 4 games decided by 3 points or less that they've won 0. Yeah, that stings a little bit, and they know they've got to finish today if they're going to find any way to win.
They're going to be down one of their top players. We go down to Bruce Feldman.
Yeah, Joe, the heartbeat of their defense, Jordan Brooks, he is a Butkus Award finalist. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury really for the past 3 weeks, been playing through it. He will not go today. I'm told he's expected to have surgery on it within the next week. Adam Beck, a sophomore, he will move into the lineup, and they need to get more leadership from Rico Jeffers, who will slide into it, but definitely a playmaking challenge for them. That's what they miss with Brooks, and he has been such a leader. That burden is going to go on to some of the older players in this defense in their last game here today.
All right, Bruce, on a rainy Friday morning, chance for thunderstorms, although this forecast has actually improved from what it was looking like through the week. Not going to be clean down there, though.
No, but I sure like to see a lot of these folks here for the finale. Right, just 17 seniors for Tom Herman, and really, as he told us yesterday, about 5 that contribute in significant ways. That is it. Right, they've lost a lot of the guys in the middle in this program as well. Just so many young players that have been thrown into the mix. I think that's another, he's not going to make that excuse, but that's another explanation for why they're sitting here this morning at 6-5.
Texas won the toss. They choose to receive. Jake Smith back to return this kick with Deshaun Jamison, who takes a fair catch, and the Longhorns to begin to the 25-yard line. Junior quarterback Sam Ehlinger got off to a great start this season. Then he threw 4 interceptions against TCU, and then injuries and teams dropping 8, not trusting it, not as decisive as you mentioned off of the top. Still some pretty darn good numbers, but the message to him today, Brock, let it rip. They want him to get back to trusting what's around him, trusting what he sees.
1-2 run. A year ago, 16 rushing touchdowns, just 5 of those this year. That's another significant area of difference. And if you're without your guys that you really trust and anticipate, 1-2 run. And he's got the capability of doing that.
First play of the day for the Longhorns is a Sam Ehlinger run off of the read play, and he's got a first down behind this offensive line for the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, they've been solid, if not spectacular, but Zach Shackelford playing his 52nd game, the captain right in the middle. You know he wants his final one to be a good one, and Devin Duvernay, #1 in America when it comes to receptions, and he'll get the ball in the run game, I think, as well today.
Motion into the backfield. Good timing for that comment. He's got his first carry today, and room off of the edge. Sticking the shoulder down, close to another first down against this Texas Tech defense. Very aggressive, very disruptive. Top 25 in the country in both takeaways and tackles for loss.
Yeah, that's what Keith Patterson loves to do. Their defensive coordinator's an aggressive guy. Victory goes to the aggressors. He told us yesterday. Broderick Ross Washington's a senior. He's stout right in the middle. They will miss Jordan Brooks significantly. #1 in America was Jordan in tackles for loss. And that back end of the secondary, you better be careful when throwing Mr. Coleman's way. 8 interceptions paces college football.
2nd down and 2, opening Texas drive. Ehlinger looks to throw. Now he'll take off. Yeah, crosses midfield as he gets drilled from behind. It's 1st down. Now the offense, we mentioned Ehlinger getting off to a good start. The offense has kind of matched what he's done, where they were one of the top offenses in the country over the first month and a half or so, but pretty sluggish the last 4 games.
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks in particular, out on the road against this kind of scheme, a 3-down aggressive front from Iowa State, from Baylor a week ago, and you're seeing immediately some answers to that scheme with QB run and wide receiver run.
A week ago, managed just 1 touchdown against Baylor. Didn't come until the final second of the game in that 24-10 loss. Ehlinger steps up in the pocket and then gets sandwiched. It's Adam Beck, who's going to have an increased role today with Jordan Brooks not playing, and Beck brings Ehlinger down.
And that is what they want to avoid. That is sack number 33 on the season for Texas. And this is once you hitch once, twice, that ball's got to come out. You just got to throw it away. You just have to avoid those negative plays, and that is what Coach Beck, Coach Herman were talking to us about yesterday. A nice finish for the nickelback turn linebacker Adam Beck today, but got to get rid of the football right there if you're Sam.
33rd sack allowed this season by the Longhorns, most in the conference. Moves him back to the 46, and an option to the short side for Ingram. Keontae Ingram a week ago had the longest run of the Tom Herman era, 68 yards, but injured his ankle on the play. Yeah, didn't play in the second half. Was questionable coming into this one. They think good enough to at least give him something. First 3rd down to this opening drive for Texas, and they'll empty it out. It's an area where Texas has been really good this year. One of the top 15 3rd down offenses in the country. 4 options into the wide side for Ehlinger, who delivers to Ingram, promptly dropped by Xavier Benson, and it's 4th down.
You know what you're going to get on 3rd down against the Red Raiders. Going to be a lot of man-to-man coverage. Look at the face mask all staring at everybody. Texas tries to run a little rub route in concept to free it up. But credit Benson and all those Red Raiders for being right in the hip pocket of those Longhorn receivers. And that is where that sack just kills you. Those negative plays, often destroying drives here in the month of November for the Longhorns.
Douglas Coleman back to return this punt from Chris Nagar. Took over the punting duties from Ryan Buchevsky midway through the season and has done a nice job. This is landing at the 15 and taking a Texas Tech bounce to the 20. Quarterback for the Red Raiders is Jett Duffey. Started this season as the 3rd stringer. Then Alan Bowman goes down with a shoulder injury game 3. They give Jackson Tyner a shot. Didn't go well at Oklahoma. So in comes Jett Duffey, coming off a 3rd consecutive 300-yard game. This one begins with a handoff to SaRodrick Thompson, and he's got 5 or 6 into the arms of Texas's leading tackler Joseph Osai.
Get ready for 2 things: tempo, and Red Raiders want to play as fast as they have all season long, and a lot of handoffs to that man Thompson today.
And that is saying something, because they always play fast. Over the top they go here into one-on-one coverage, but incomplete. Good coverage, B.J. Foster on McLean Mannix. Now, Texas Tech, for the 18th consecutive season, is one of the top 10 passing offenses in the country. Texas defensively ranks 124th against the pass out of the 130 teams. Now, they've gotten better as they've gotten healthier in the secondary. Texas brings pressure. Duffey delivers a strike and a 1st down to the leading receiver for the Red Raiders, the Louisiana Monroe transfer R.J. Turner.
And I think for the Longhorn fans, that's been a familiar sight in that secondary, just unable to make a play on the ball.
Quickly back on it. Play action on 1st down. Duffey lofting, wants Mannix through his hands. They've taken a couple of shots to the Nevada transfer on this first drive.
And you're right, the Red Raiders always go fast, but I think David Yost wanted to move it even faster today to see if Texas can line up as that ball's just off the fingertips of Mannix. A Texas crew that, with all those moving pieces, has a hard time getting lined up at times defensively.
Thompson with a hole and a first down. You mentioned it, all 81 plays in last week's game. Sir Roderick Thompson was in there with Tajon Henry out. The opening drive for Texas Tech and for Texas's defense and the D coordinator Todd Orlando.
Aggressive, aggressive, aggressive.
Here he brings only 3. That is a confident throw to Keyshawn Carter for a first down. Brandon Jones with a tackle after a gain of 13.
Yeah, you call that formation into the boundary. Watch how many times today, and the boundary is the short side of the field. Texas Tech loves it. It simplifies the read, and you're right, a nice dart from Duffey.
Looking to throw again, swings it outside. TJ Vasher, another Texas Tech first down. Vasher, one of the top receivers, at least in terms of just raw talent, that you're going to find across the country. But he's missed a couple of games for a violation of team rules. Came back last week in a limited role and has had huge games against Texas throughout his career. Thompson, huge hold off the right side, and Texas Tech on the move here on their first possession.
Yeah, to that point, Vasher, 13 receptions, 3 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons against Texas. He can be a difference maker. You saw it a week ago with Mims down at Baylor, getting those big guys into one-on-one battles with an undersized secondary.
Yeah, Denzel Mims had 7 catches for 125 yards last year. As that ball bounces to Carter last week, that is. Texas just really didn't have an answer. The 24-10 Baylor win. 3rd and 4 coming up here. Quickly to Vasher, needs a couple of blocks. He'll get him, and a first down. Vasher inside the 15. And this long drive continues with a gain of 14.
And once again, good tempo, but even better blocking here. Look at the big fellas get out in front of Vasher. He knows exactly what to do on 3rd and 4, get north and south.
Duffey given time, floating to the end zone. That is Carter for a Texas Tech touchdown. An 11-play drive finishes off with a Carter score.
And that was one flat drive defensively for Texas. Very little energy. Here's the corner route right out of the slot. Keyshawn, one of the fastest Texas Tech Red Raiders. And just look at the space. That whole drive, to me, Joe, felt like Texas was just watching. There was very little stinger. There was very little attack. And credit Texas Tech and Jett Duffey marching it right down the field, putting 7 on the board.
80 yards in 11 plays. They convert a couple of 3rd downs. And Keyshawn Carter using some of that track speed. A high school track champ and a member of Texas Tech's national champion track team has the touchdown. 7-0. Keyshawn Carter with the game's first touchdown, capping off that 11-play drive. 7-0 Texas Tech.
Just Keyshawn's 2nd of the season, but man, was that to script for David Yost, offensive coordinator for Texas Tech. Set the tempo, push the ball down the field, mix in enough run, and take advantage of a Texas secondary that actually has been pretty good this month of November, but man, did that feel stale on the defensive side of the ball.
Jamison going to bring this one back. Deshaun Jamison with a nice return across the 35. Drive begins at the 36. Ingram. Keontae Ingram, a first down, crossing the 45. Let's bring in Bruce. Actually, hold on a moment, Bruce. Hold on a moment, Bruce. Some scuffling there at the end of the play. First of all, make sure the scuffle is cleaned up. Second of all, make sure Bruce isn't right in the middle of it. I think everybody's good. Bruce?
Still the 47, 1st and 10.
Joe, you're talking about Texas searching for answers. I asked Sam Ehlinger about this. He goes, you know, it's really pretty hard to explain because it just doesn't make any sense why we're struggling like this. He said it's unfortunate that Colin Johnson's here, but he goes, you know what? Even without him, we're Texas. And here's a playmaker.
Yeah, Duvernay really, Brock, the lone playmaker they feel like they have less that they can count on.
Yeah, the word you hear me use an awful lot is trust. Right, it's a word that I learned the most in football, playing quarterback. Trust between play caller, trust between quarterback, receivers, and protection. Duvernay, the one guy that clearly Ehlinger trusts, and I think you've seen them feed him the first 2 drives of the game because of it.
98th catch of the season for him, leads the country. Sets up a first down at the 33, and Roschon Johnson lowers the shoulder and gets 5.
Yeah, this game's about us. Those were Coach Herman's words to us yesterday. It's about us. It's a shorter week. We're not going to go chasing ghosts. We're going to get back to the things that they feel like they do best. That is Duvernay. That's a little of the RPO game. And really for Sam, when he is going at his best, he's playing in rhythm and getting the ball out of his hand.
Again, it's Johnson. He gets 3, stopped by Broderick Washington. Let's take a look at the one to watch, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Devin Duvernay, 98 catches on the season. That's the most since Jordan Shipley's record 116 in 2009. On 3rd and short, Johnson gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage, and it's 4th down.
That's a nice job by Texas Tech up front, but you see Texas coming right to the ball, and to me this is absolute go zone.
Quarterback sneak, initial surge not close. He didn't get it. A punt and a turnover on downs on the first 2 Texas possessions. Not even particularly close.
Yeah, that low man wins, right? You can see Coach Patterson right there, the D coordinator. Texas Tech gets lower. They get underneath the Longhorns. There is nowhere for Sam to sneak it. And that's the kind of excitement Coach Matt Wells said his team has felt. And these guys are loving to play. They're going to finish strong, and what a start for Texas Tech.
We've got Texas, who had all these expectations, preseason number 10, and then they got off to a good start.
Played toe-to-toe with LSU.
Yeah, and they were 4-1, with that being the lone loss. But they've dropped 4 of 6 since. Texas Tech, meanwhile, first year in a head coach's tenure, expectations are never going to be sky high. Get it to Thompson on the edge, nowhere to go. Tries to reverse field and may have something here. Thompson into the clear, first down into Texas territory. Turns nothing into a gain of 18.
And he'll stay on the field for every single snap. All 81 of them a week ago. They're down their 2nd and 3rd tailbacks. And that guy's not coming off the field, an engine that never stops running.
David Yost, the old coordinator, said in 27 years of coaching, he's never had a running back stay in the game the entire way, and even was asking his way onto special teams late in the game.
Awesome.
They faked the swing. Duffey being pursued, got rid of it just in time to the sticks, and Azukama. First catch of the day for the redshirt freshman, who has really come on.
Yeah, I think you're feeling this Jett Duffey saying, you know what, I put up 520 total yards on these guys a season ago, and he's playing with extreme confidence these first 2 series, and once again, Keyshawn dotting the sidelines.
And you remember that, right? You remember as a quarterback, these guys were a team that I shredded last year.
You remember a golf course that you feel good on the first hole, like, yep, I birdied this hole, versus one that you bogeyed or double bogeyed. Yes, this is a team he had a bunch of success against a season ago.
Looking to throw again. Is able to escape the pocket and scramble for a few yards. Tackle by the corner to Sean Jamison. Redshirt junior from Mansfield, Texas. Made 3 starts last year. One of those was against Texas, throwing for 444 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also ran for 80 yards in that game. And is a good runner, but they've limited him in that role just because there's not a whole lot behind him. All bets are off today, though. Week 12, there's nothing after. bringing pressure on second down. Underneath they go to Vasher, already with his third reception. Stop made by Kobe Boyce, third down.
Yeah, how many times did Matt Wells talk about development to us yesterday? Development, development, development. That's going to be the essence of their program. No one doing it more this season than Duffey.
Thompson bounces, first down. Thompson, touchdown. All Texas Tech so far in Austin.
Wow. And that is all Mr. Saroderick right there as he gets outside toward Todd Orlando's defense. Two players, B.J. Foster, 25 on the edge, Osai, the linebacker, those two, they lose containment. And Thompson feels it, he sneaks it, and he's got the burst to finish it. What a start for Texas Tech.
Freshman kicker Trey Wolf hooks that one through, and just like that, it is 14-0 Texas Tech.
We got one team playing, Joe, and one team is watching. One team is making the plays in the run game, in the pass game, keeping plays alive, and the other team, well, they're watching, they're reaching, and they're not finding a way to finish, and because of it, these Red Raiders are up 14. The road teams owned this game the last 5 times. Texas Tech starting to own it here in the first 15.
Red Raiders got in at about 6 o'clock last night and had a nice Thanksgiving dinner at the team hotel. 2 drives, 2 scores for Texas Tech and an early 14-0 lead.
And what is that chemical in turkey that makes you sleepy?
Tryptophan.
Because it's affecting the Longhorns here, but it certainly is not affecting Texas Tech.
And it's second down and 15, continue to drop 8 into coverage, so Ehlinger with time wants Malcolm Epps, who goes up and gets it. Given a bigger role because of the injury to Colin Johnson. Here he takes advantage for a gain of 30.
And this is a big-time play. It starts with protection. Texas Tech rushes 3. Sam knows it. And this is, I said to you earlier about trust. That is the throw where you're trusting your big wideout to go up into double coverage and come down with that.
Jake Smith gets a block, gets a first down.
Those are the plays they didn't have the last 2 weeks on the road. Those are the plays up in Ames and last week in Waco these Longhorns could not and did not make. Let's see if that explosive ignites this offense.
Ehlinger looking downfield again. He'll tuck it and run to the 19. Defensive coordinator for Texas Tech, Keith Patterson, in his first season following Matt Wells from Utah State. No matter where he's been, they've been aggressive. No matter where he's been, they've forced a lot of turnovers. In fact, led the country in takeaways last year at Utah State. On second down, into the short side, here comes Johnson. He gets thrown down, but able to finish forward. Some of the first signs of fight and life from Texas.
Yeah, this is a big deal because the yards after contact the last couple weeks just were not there, and that's 6, 7, 8 yards after contact makes a monumental difference. And when you don't have it against Baylor and you don't have it against the Cyclones, well, you don't come away with a win out on the road. That's well done by the true freshman.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
I'm going to guess pressure and man-to-man coverage.
Usually a pretty safe bet from Keith Patterson's defense. They are bringing it. It's a quarterback run. Ehlinger with a first down. Ehlinger with a touchdown. The first quarter touchdown for Texas in 5 games.
And runs through an arm tackle in the backfield to really set it up here. That is QB power. You block down. You pull Ongelau, the big right guard, around. You just let that size and strength come downhill. 16 rushing touchdowns a year ago for Sam, a huge part of his game, just his 6th this season, but man, did this stadium and this team need that kind of touchdown effort.
Yeah, so first Texas touchdown in the first quarter in 5 games, first Ehlinger rushing touchdown in 5 games. Cameron Dicker with the extra point, and it gets blocked. That was Zach McPherson flying off of the edge to get it. Back to Austin in 30 seconds. Nice drive, as you said, needed badly after the sluggish start. Keyshawn Carter receiving touchdown. Brings this kick back to the 22. From the 22-yard line, Texas Tech back out on offense. 2 drives and 2 touchdowns. Thompson being chased by Coburn, able to turn the corner. Osai finishes him off, and it's 2nd down.
Well, let's see if the Texas is going to tackle a little bit here. I'm going to guess that Todd Orlando got in the ear of some of these players, especially the more veteran players, that you've just got to bring some edge. And this tempo right now, it slowed down some of the pressure, and I think Texas got to get back to doing what they do best, and that's blitz.
Play action over the middle. That's behind Carter and incomplete. Coverage from Caden Stearns, 3rd and 8.
That's a pretty big play here. I just think for the energy and for this defensive group, got to get off the field.
Duffey in trouble and sacked, and they will get off of the field. Malcolm Roach on his senior day brings Duffey down, and it's 4th down. Moro Ojimo in there as well. And so Texas starting to get things going after a sluggish first few minutes. 14-6 to the 2nd on this Thanksgiving weekend at Austin. First half stats. Texas Tech in front 14-6. Texas actually outgaining the Red Raiders.
On pace for about 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Between the two, up and down the field.
It's a little more Big 12-like.
Yeah, a little more than what we've seen from Baylor the last, the entirety of this season, playing tremendous defense.
Across the league, improvements defensively. Alex Grinch, of course, in his first season at Oklahoma, overhauling that defense. Back to get it is Brandon Jones. Shakes free of a couple of men and then brought down by the nose guard, Jalen Hutchings. Texas went 75 yards for a touchdown in the previous drive. Here they hand it off to Roschon Johnson, the converted quarterback. The point where he had never played running back in his life. So they help Roschon Johnson off of the field. Keontae Ingram started the game for Texas, but remember, he was dealing with an ankle injury, so he at this point is unavailable, and they go to Daniel Young, who's got a total of 5 carries this season. And a touchdown last week with 1 second left. Injury-riddled season himself. There's a running back room that's just been ravaged by injuries this year. First down from the 41. Ehlinger given time, steps into the throw, into the flats, that's complete. Couple of tackles broken by Marcus Washington, and the true freshman extends it inside the 40. 3rd career reception for the St. Louis native, goes for 15.
And a nice job here by Ehlinger to get through his read. He wanted to push the ball down the field, but ultimately the crumbs lead to the cookie. You've got to take that underneath throw. And a tremendous job by the true freshman. One of his more dynamic plays of the entire season, catching and running.
Young's first touch, gain of 2, submarine by Fields.
I mean, that's the beauty of this now. When you're the 3rd string running back, here's your chance. Right, a lot of times over the course of the season, you're a backup to backups and you're just waiting. And oh man, it's such a grind. Well, here you go. Injuries in front of you. You've got an opportunity to break tackles and make your mark in the season finale.
And there is Ingram, again dealing with the ankle injury that he suffered on the long run at Baylor last week. Second down. They bring 5 this time. Ehlinger trying to beat it. Wants Duvernay. Adjusts. And he makes the catch. What a play by Devin Duvernay. 1st and goal.
And that's all set up at the line of scrimmage. You heard Ehlinger say kill, kill, kill. This was 2 plays. This was the shot play. If you got man-to-man coverage, an excellent job by Duvernay to get the knee in. And a really well done job by the junior quarterback getting to the play he wanted to take the shot down the field.
It's Young into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas. So Daniel Young's second touchdown on his 7th carry this year. And after the missed extra point found him in the first touchdown, they'll go for 2 here.
Explosive plays, something the Longhorns really struggled with in the month of November. Kind of dried up. And that really was the difference on those 2 drives. It was Epps on the previous touchdown drive in the double coverage. That time it was Duvernay versus single coverage. And I think the right move here for Texas to go for 2.
Send 4 receivers to the wide side of the field and have one-on-one with Malcolm Epps to the top of the screen. Retreating, lofting, Duvernay ties the game. From an ugly 14-0 hole to locked at 14 early in the second.
That's 3 years of relationship between those two. They've been throwing each other a ton. More than anybody else this season, with Duvernay over 100 catches now on the year. That's all timing, anticipation, and a big 2-pointer to tie it up. That's a big drum.
That is a really big drum. And this is a tie game.
That's a big flag, and everything's bigger in Texas, as they like to say.
Daniel Young came into the game as the 3rd running back, but Ingram dealing with the ankle. Bruce Feldman reports Roschon Johnson a lower leg injury. And so Daniel Young into the game and gets the touchdown. They'll bring this one out. Douglas Coleman. Texas Tech to start of the 20s. On the slant, the tight end, Dante Thompson.
Right, and then look at this other philosophy. There's no kill. We're not going to do anything. We are going to dictate. You're going to do it by just getting up and running these plays as fast as you can so you get the defense. Look at them, barely lined up.
I mean, that is about as fast as you could possibly go. It's Thompson for a gain of 3. Jones and Obershon making it 3rd down. And Thompson, who they cannot afford to lose. Again, he played all 81 snaps last week. Is slow getting up here.
There's a little different effort. Compare and contrast 2-3 Longhorns around the tackle, and that's a low shot there by Jones, getting his head out of the way, the shoulder pad to the thigh, and you can see the very tough Thompson is down. And you're right, with number 2 and 3 down, that means more than likely Jax Welch, a high school safety out of Odessa with 300-some tackles as a safety in high school, probably the next option at running back for you.
The options behind Thompson, of course, Welch included, a total of 4 career carries. He's got all of them. And he's in there in a running situation, perhaps 3rd and 2. They will throw against pressure. Duffey off his back foot. One-on-one coverage. Over the shoulder, Carter. Jett Stearns. Keyshawn Carter, 1st and goal. Boy, the sophomore out of the Woodlands putting together a career day. He's got 44 here.
Yeah, some Keyshawn may be watching this one going, throw me the ball. That's what you do. If it's one-on-one, they can't cover me with my speed. He goes up over the top. Nice throw. Stearns can't make the play.
They're actually out. Split out, and they bring him in here. He's got it. And shut down by Moro Ojimo. Wow, how about that? Here comes Thompson, and you were right. He can walk, he'll find a way in. Texas takes timeout at the last moment. There was nobody over T.J. Vasher, and it's not like they were hiding him.
No, you're going to see him right here, and this is one, instead of Duffey looking to the sideline, you've just got to have a call, right? And just get up there and snap it immediately. You're going to see here they're going through the mechanics. He looks to the sidelines. Get out of that, man. That is where you've got to make that check right away. We talk about the checks on the other side, right? That's just an overall awareness of everything around you, and you could see it. Ah, that's my bad. Right? Just look out there, and you've got a quick call right to that line, and just hurry, hurry. Said, hut.
How in the world does that happen from Texas's perspective, though?
Lots of personnel.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's no Jalen Green, there's no Anthony Cook, there's no Stearns, so you got a bunch of new personnel. You got a group that's probably more focused on their blitz and their pressure there around the line of scrimmage. But yeah, that's one, if you're Jett, you're going to learn from, and just got to get the ball out.
2nd down and goal out of the timeout. Thompson finds a crease to the goal line. Where do they spot him? A little bit short. And it's 3rd and goal.
This is a crew that will run it and will run it and will run it down here. It's just short.
Thompson again. He gets stopped again. And it's 4th down as Osai and Roach shut him down.
Yeah, it was a little bit of inside penetration too, Joe, by Jeffrey McCulloch, the linebacker, and Roach. They get into the backfield, and Osai able to clean it up out on the edge.
And it is McCulloch, who has dealt with a shoulder injury all season, who is slow getting up.
And he shot the gap right there, right? I mean, it is, you know what's coming. This group loves to run between the tackles inside the 5-yard line, and you're going to see him come into the backfield. He lunges with that left arm, that shoulder that has been banged up all season long, and the senior Roach knows that was a pretty critical tackle for loss. Now, I don't know, it's been a while, Joe, since I've had a board that looks quite like this one, with so many guys banged up on both teams.
A lot of red pen.
And a shorter week.
4th down and goal. They had it 1st and goal from the 2. They'll throw it. Vassar can't get it. And Texas slams the door at the goal line. Kenyatta Watson finds himself in the game in a big spot and comes up with a play.
Yeah, the true freshman, you just never know when your number's going to be called. But the true freshman plays it pretty well. He gets his hands up right there at the very end to knock it out of the hands of Asher and save 6.
Inspired stuff from Todd Orlando's bunch at the goal line, stopping Texas Tech when they had it 1st and goal from the 2.
It was a sleepy start. They've still given up some explosives, which you're going to do in Orlando's pressure defense. But ultimately, they get down there inside the 3, and you're right, man. Tremendous effort and a really nice play by the freshman Watson.
The tryptophan wore off, and now they are really good. That is a flag that's going to move this inside the 1. You might have noticed Roshan Johnson back in the game at running back for the Longhorns.
A false start by number 18 of the offense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal, and it's still 1st down.
It's true freshman Jared Wiley. Texas back-to-back touchdown drives. First 2 drives, there was a punt and a turnover on downs, but they found something these last couple.
Yeah, and a sack and that penalty set the first 2 back, and the explosive set up the next 2.
Trying to get a little bit of breathing room here. Johnson to the 2.
It was Chip Kelly, I believe, chatting with him over the last couple years, and a lot of his data studied there at UCLA, and the difference of drives when you just get 1 explosive. If you get 2 explosives on a play of 15+, you're going to score a field goal or points 90% of the time. And Coach Herman knows it is just too hard to sustain long drives. You've got to find those explosives.
Keep it on the ground, and Johnson gets brought down in the backfield by Jalen Hutchings, the redshirt freshman from Forney, Texas. Played a little running back himself in high school.
I like this dude, man. He plays hard. You said it earlier. You're going to see the penetration right in the backfield. He covered the punt.
Yeah.
He was down on punt coverage, 700 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns for the, well, they listed him at 6 foot, about 5'11", 290 pounds. Does an awesome job with his leverage, getting underneath the pads in a big 3rd and 9.
A low snap. Ehlinger picks it up and throws behind Malcolm Epps. So Texas will have to punt out of its own end zone here, unable to do anything after the goal line stand.
Yeah, credit Texas Tech right there, right? I mean, this has been kind of a back and forth. You throw a punch, we throw a punch. Tech right out the gate with a couple touchdowns. Texas answers. And that's what you need your defense to do when your offense gets stopped in a situation like that. Part of the reason you go for it is you count on this, a 3 and out, and getting the ball back in good field position.
That is the first incompletion from Sam Ehlinger. And Agar, limited room here to get rid of it. The high but short punt. Shukswabuku. That is off his foot, but a flag down as John Burt got his hands on it. A few things to sort out here.
Kick catch interference by number 39 of the kicking team. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it'll be first down.
Well, they couldn't punch it in from the 2, but winning the field position battle right now, beginning from the 24, as Duffey gets rid of that at the last moment. RPO to the max. The run pass option he took right to the last moment, threw incomplete.
And Duffey can run. 80 yards rushing against these Longhorns last year, but they have throttled that way back because of the concerns behind him.
Here comes pressure on second down. He wants one-on-one in the end zone, and Ehlinger has it. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
And you see the difference here between the touchdown and the near miss on the previous series. Watch Ehlinger go up and use those strong hands. Right, it felt like Vassar waited on the little fade throw in the end zone. Ehlinger does not. He goes up, and you see the 4-star, the guy they're awfully excited about, who's grown and developed this season, make a tremendous high-point catch.
Did it against Texas's top cover man in Deshaun Jamison, but he gives up 5 inches to Ehlinger. Jett Duffey giving his guys an opportunity in one-on-one today, and so far it's been good decisions. Ehlinger's touchdown has Texas Tech back in front, 21-14.
You're going to like a little of the football that I got coming up here for you in a second, because that play, it's pretty remarkable what the Red Raiders do offensively in their play-action game.
Short kick, fair catch.
There's a lot of studies that show you don't even need necessarily the run play to run the play action off of it and find success. And you can ask Texas Tech about that.
On first down, Ehlinger looking deep. Duvernay, bang! Texas responds, and we're an extra point away from being tied again. 75-yard strike.
What'd you say? Boom.
Bang, boom.
Goes the dynamite. And you know when you're really fast? It's when you can stumble. Watch Duvernay. He stumbles right there, and he's still gone. See ya. My guy's just faster than your guy, and Adrian Fry, he's a corner, and he's got good speed, but he didn't got the elite, crazy speed that Duvernay does as he closes that cushion, runs right by him, and you know what? If you're even, you're leaving.
And he was. I mean, you said it, and this is a guy who's done a lot in his Texas career as a football player, but he would tell you still that his proudest athletic achievement, 100-meter dash champion in Texas in high school. That is a big deal. And he showed off some of that speed, a 75-yard score, the longest Texas pass play of the year. Not a bad way for Devin Duvernay to get his 100th catch of the season, the first player to do that in the Big 12 since Lockett and White did it in 2014.
And I like what you're saying here, and if you're a Texas fan, you do too. That was the connection you wanted. They've had it, but I think over the last month, Ehlinger's not been this confident.
Keyshawn Carter to the 25. That's off of the hands of Turner, and incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And I always hated hearing that. Oh, have fun. Have fun. Just cut it loose. Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
Well,
right?
okay. And Sam Ehlinger is a thinker, right? He analyzes, sometimes overanalyzes. You were the same way.
Yes.
It can be what makes you what you are as a talented quarterback, but it can also be a detriment. 2nd and 10, a draw play. Thompson, not much there.
Well, it allows you to control the game at the line of scrimmage, right? And handle and process all that information and get to your kill plays and everything else. But yes, it can also paralyze you by overanalysis, and that was really the theme this week. It's about us. Get back to who we are and what we do best. And these last 3 possessions, 3 or 4, have been pretty darn good.
And the rain really coming down as hard as it has today. In front of this 3rd and 8, Duffey out of the pocket, delivers incomplete.
And ball just gets away from Duffey, and that's the difference between just the drop back game and a little bit of that play action, as you do see. And this was forecast, and I don't think it's going anywhere. Both these QBs are going to have to throw a wet ball, something that Duffey did over the course of the week, but that one flew high and wide, and a pretty good 3 and out by the Longhorns defense.
short punt from Austin McNamara, who has been the best freshman punter in the country this year. And thanks to that bounce, another pretty good one here. 1st and 10 from the 26. Texas looking for its first lead of the day. Roschon Johnson bottled up. Tripped up by Xavier Benson. And Duvernay, a team captain, was named a team captain mid-season. Rarely do you see that. Tom Herman said one other time in his coaching career he's done that. And Duvernay leading by example. He's a quiet guy who, Tom Herman said, truthfully, probably not the most likable guy. Always plays so mean, so angry, but guys admire and respect the way that he does that.
Salty.
Back-to-back runs. 3rd and short.
A little feast or famine, right? Texas Tech, they love to bring the pressure, but you get hit the way they've gotten hit on a couple of these drives. I think you're going to see Keith Patterson just try to keep it in front of you a little bit. You're without your best player, Brooks, your middle linebacker. Yes, you are aggressive, but you also want to make Texas try to earn it a little bit.
On 3rd and 3, pressure's picked up, and Eagles underneath, 1st down. We saw Ehlinger using that analytical side to his benefit,
yes.
Navigating pre-snap.
Yep, exactly. Trying to get a good read on what you're going to get, and ultimately you're going to get the one-on-one you want. That's a nice catch on a wet day. Watching these receivers, not just the quarterback's got to handle the wet ball, the receivers do as well.
Daniel Young back in the game at running back. On 1st down from the 49, he's got it. Gain of 2, Adam Beck the tackle. Coming up at halftime, stay tuned. Rob Stone and the guys are live in Ann Arbor. State Farm halftime show. Charles Woodson going to join the crew. Take it through first half highlights. Look ahead to the huge day on Fox tomorrow. Inside 4 minutes, 8th play on this Texas drive. Ehlinger navigates in the pocket and finds room for a 1st down inside the 40. Well, there you go, Brock. When it's not there, tuck it and go.
That's right. The sack on the opening drive, and outside of that, either the ball has been out of Sam's hand, or look at this, he is now looking to use the other strength he has, and that is his ability to run.
From the 31, 2nd down 4. Johnson, nice cut to get free, and then a stiff arm, another to McPherson, 1st down to the 21. Boy, Roschon Johnson running hard today.
And McPherson is down after this run, and these were the yards you were not getting over the last 2 weeks. Baylor was making that tackle at the line of scrimmage, and there was 0 after contact. The Cyclones, 7-8 times, Roschon got onto the corners or safeties and just had a challenging time on that field of making people miss and running through tackles. And the beating Texas taken here in the first half, Keith Patterson, I don't know who he's got left personnel-wise.
Long drive continues as Texas looks for its first lead of the day from the 20. Ehlinger scans the field, through his progression to the end zone and incomplete over Duvernay. Covered by Fry, 2nd and 10.
So what do you do here if you're Texas Tech? Right, your very identity is to be hyper aggressive. That's what you want to do. Jordan Brooks, your middle linebacker, 20 tackles for loss. Keith Patterson, I'll quote him again, victory goes to the aggressor. But can you really do it? With so many different people down, can you disguise the pressures? Right, so much of their pressure comes out of disguise, right? Hitting that opponent in the back. You've got so many new pieces and new roles and inexperience doing so. Hard to be aggressive.
12th play of the Texas drive is another run. On the read, it's Ehlinger inside the 10, inside the 5. 1st and goal with flags down.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask by number 23 of the defense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal, and it's 1st down.
That's DeMarcus Fields, the corner that's going to come in right there. That's a good call by the umpire. And then that's the X-Factor killer. Well, we can talk about scheming and doing everything else, but then when you've got the quarterback that can pull the ball down as well, a huge difference in this first half.
Ehlinger, in addition to the 218 yards through the air, has run for 64 on just 8 carries, and with a minute and a half sets up first down and goal inside the 2. Johnson in, touchdown Texas, and they lead for the first time.
Watch the right guard here, Ongalau. That is just 2 grizzly bears in the woods, man. Him and Broderick Washington, the senior, right at the point of attack where you've got to win. You can't get blown back off the ball. Even a stalemate allows your freshman running back to put his pads down and finish. Well done.
And so the Longhorns fall into a 14-0 hole and wake up from a bit of a turkey hangover, and they've scored 28 of the last 35. Going into the break with the lead after they trailed this game 14-0 and looked frankly bad, and falling into that 14-0 hole, looked uninspired. Completely different team from that point forward.
And a very different quarterback than the one we've watched out on the road the last couple weeks. Jett Duffey will have a little more say in this for sure in the second half, as will the weapons of Texas Tech that moved it up and down the field.
And they'll have the ball to begin the second half. 28-21. Stay tuned. Rob Stone and the guys in Ann Arbor for the State Farm halftime show after these messages. Final seconds. Keyshawn Carter. What a way for him to go into the offseason with a career performance today. That's his 11th catch.
By the way, out in the ACC, I think now that is 7 different teams in that division over 7 years representing in the title game. Absolute parity. And Sam wanted to do it for the seniors. Wanted to quiet some of the outside noise. Wanted to put together an offensive day, and I think the Longhorns certainly did that.
49 points, 610 yards. Matt Wells' first season at Texas Tech finishes 4-8. Tom Herman's Longhorns go 7-5 and will await their bowl destination. They've been looking for big plays. They found a bunch of them today. The man you just saw, Devin Duvernay, produced a bunch. Roschon Johnson breaks 100 yards on the ground. But it all started with Sam Ehlinger, who throws for 348, runs for 83 more, and 3 total touchdowns for the junior quarterback. Ted Duffey in a losing effort, 399 and 2 touchdowns. Bruce Feldman has Sam Ehlinger.
Sam, you guys were down 14-0. The sideline seemed like it was flat, and then all of a sudden you guys erupted. What changed?
We just got back to what we knew to do, playing our type of football. We were shooting ourselves in the foot at the beginning of the game, but we found our groove and came together as a team.
When I talked to Tom Herman at halftime, he said you were playing really well. He goes, you're so conscientious. Sometimes you're trying to be too perfect. You just got to cut it loose. That sounds simple, is it?
It is, but it isn't at the same time, because there's a lot that's going on and defenses do a lot to try to confuse you. So maybe overthinking sometimes and trying to be too perfect. But I'm glad we got the win today.
When we spoke this week, you talked about how important it was for you to send the seniors out the right way. What has this group meant to you?
It's unreal. They've been here since I first got here, and they've been through so much. Some of my best friends, and they will be for life. I love them to death. I'm so glad we got to send them out the way we did today.
Right, thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Joe, back to you.
All right, Bruce, heck of a day for him, heck of a way for Texas to finish
exactly the way you wanted to finish it here after the adversity of this month and then a bowl game on top of it. And as I said earlier, quiet the noise of the offseason, get to work, and make it a different 2020.
14-0 hole becomes a 49-24 win for the Longhorns. We'll get you back to Mike Hill and Petros Papadakis in Los Angeles for more post-game coverage after these messages. Got the Apple Cup coming up, and then What a Day on Fox tomorrow. We'll talk to you from Stillwater with Bedlam tomorrow night.